Okay, welcome back everyone to my channel. I am super excited because I have a very special guest, Malika Sellami.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes. Thank
I
you for
literally
having
was like
me.
practicing it. So Malika is, to me, I truly think you are one of my soul sisters. I have so much love for this woman. And we actually just spent a magical weekend away with some wild women at Earth Daughters Festival. So I do want to chat about that a bit, but first I want to talk about you. Because Malika is talented in so many ways. But right now, I want to talk about your chanting, your kirtan, which you were blessing us with this weekend. So tell me a little bit about it and everyone else who doesn't know what kirtan is.
Okay, well, Kirtan is the Bhakti yoga. So we know the asanas, that kind of yoga, the poses, right? And Kirtan is the devotional yoga. So the loving and devotional, we use our voice. So it's like an active meditation for those who can't just stay still and they need to move things in their body with the power of their voice. What I do is non-traditional kirtan, and Tanya. So Tanya, sorry. And so for lots of people, this getting the medicine from the spiritual, the culture of Sanskrit or Pali, depending if it's in Hinduism or Tibetan Buddhism, and all the teachings from centuries. But there's also all this aspect of what chanting actually does to your body, to your mind, to your soul. So all of this encompasses the act or the medicine or the tool of chanting. So that's what I do. I help people empower themselves through their voice, right?
And it is so empowering. If anybody hasn't done it yet, I will be linking all of Malika's ways to get in touch with her and to follow her, because she does offer, like you offer group chantings. You do, you can hire her for like one-on-one chantings, and you're offering like daily chants, aren't you, right now?
Well, I started this 21-day accountability challenge that actually ended. Well, it never ended, but it was supposed to end on the Lionsgate portal day, like on the Monday. And on the 21st day, but I just decided to continue. I think it's good accountability for me, and also discipline. That's something I struggle with. And I know how potent this energy is right now, as we are still in the portal, being open, manifesting, calling what we. So I feel like, yeah, I'm continuing to chant. So either on my Instagram or on my Facebook group, and on YouTube as well, on TikTok, like I'm everywhere, and I want to chant and spread that beautiful practice. Yeah.
So beautiful. And chanting, like, I mean, being able, I think I said this to you before we left on the weekend. I was like, you've inspired me, and like to like, I love chanting, but it's not something that I do very often. And then being able to do that with you and with a whole bunch of women this weekend, it is truly healing, and it really helps you like step into that, like your center, and like to ignite that flame in you, right? Like we all have a divine feminine, whether you are male or female. So this is not something that's just for women, and I'm sure you can speak on that even more, but it is powerful, and we are in that time of the divine feminine rising. And so I think this is huge, right? To be able to be activating like this and using our voices.
Yes, and when I see men doing it, I mean, some come and are shy, but when I do like open circles to everyone, the communities circles are always open to everyone. But like a lot of people, I think, are self-conscious about their voice. And what I love about offering online is everyone's muted, right? Because of we couldn't just all chant together. It would so people can just like bail it out, or like just get that throat chakra opened up and warm up your voice. And you mentioned earlier, it can ignite your fire, but it can also like ground yourself. At some point during the festival, I received so much, even though I was holding space for people during kirtan and outside of kirtan, I received so much good, just powerful medicine and knowledge and energy from all the workshops and from all the women there. Like such powerful women were there that at some point we got that grounding.
Yeah.
And then, so yes, it can really connect us to the divine, to our higher self, like balance and all the energy meridians and everything. But it can also really ground ourselves. Sometimes before we chant, I like to just guide people into a little bit of a grounding so they can just step into the kirtan a little bit more prepared. Well, I know it's everyone's responsibility to do that, but sometimes we need a little help.
Well, I agree. It definitely it grounds me to a way where I feel like I am like truly one with Mother Gaia, because it's just so like you embody it, right? And it's that vibration, and it goes down through you and it goes up through you, and it is. How did you get into it?
Well, I have definitely, the story's been coming out lately. It's nice. I think I should tell my story more often because I have such a different, upbringing to kirtan. I would say upbringing, that's not the word, but like my path leading to kirtan is very different, because most people that do chant use a traditional instrument, the harmonium. They've done some Sanskrit studies, mostly more than Pali. I did a little bit of Tibetan Buddhism, way more than actually I've done Sanskrit, but I sang more Sanskrit. So yeah, I was a musician. I was on the road. I played internationally, some contests, sang in French, in English, folky, world music, played with musicians. I had like a not very famous, but a happy like folk musician international career. No big stadiums here, more like coffee shops and streets. And I was hitchhiking. Like this is how I kind of started my journey, right?
Yeah.
Searching myself, soul searching through the world. And at some point I went to a kirtan. I'm pretty sure it was in Saskatoon. And then I just wanted to sing harmonies with, and the woman chanting was a Padma Shri Anastasia. And we actually ended up making an album together. And I told her, I said, one day we're going to make an album together. Like I had this confidence. And I really felt like an imposter at first, right? She had like years of studies of Sanskrit. And here I am with my guitar. And I'm like, I'm going to folk things up, right? And she was playing the harmonium, but I was bringing that folky vibe, that like festive a little bit. And then maybe the more musicality, the melodies, this kind of folky side to it. But we blended super well our voices, and we ended up making an album in 2015. And although I've been chanting kirtan for 9 years, it never occurred to me that I could actually step into my power and empower myself through this and make it a wholesome business. Oh, I love it. A wholesome business. So that's where I am right now, just stepping in it, trusting the divine, and knowing that this is my path. So yeah, just surfing the wave.
Yeah. And too, for people who don't know, you are also a solo mama who homeschools. So it's, a lot of times, I'm sure you hear it too. I get people telling me like, well, I can't do that. And I'm like, if a solo mama can do it, trust me, you can do it. But you do what you want to do, what your soul calls you to do. You're living that.
Yeah, I have to. I feel like it's not even a matter of age. It's a matter of where I am on my path. yeah, I've never thought that would be my big calling or my principal calling, because I like doing other things. I'm a farmer too, and we like road trips and visiting friends and but now, like, since the festival, I've making connections and people want to invite me in their little towns, and I'm like, yeah, I've been calling the traveling, because I miss touring, right? I am a musician deep down in my soul. And I might write songs again, right? I'm not opposed to it, but for now, like, I mean, the more I chant, the more I want to chant, and the more I prepare a workshop about chanting, the more I want to research. And I've always been a people person, a teacher, right? Because I used to teach in the schools too. That's also another career of mine that I left behind. But so I like this. So bringing that spiritual aspect, that tool that's helped me heal, right? My anxiety, my depression, I mean, heal completely. No, but a lot. Like how I tackle life situations. Like I'm a completely different person right now. And I can observe that the patterns are changing. Yes, I'm doing more than just chanting. I'm watching when I'm eating, mostly. I'm drinking good water. I'm working on affirmation and rewiring my brain, just not with chanting, with other things too, right? Like it's a complete, we're a whole temple, a whole vessel, complete. We need to think about clearing the junk before calling in, manifesting, bringing, receiving. And that's the thing, is like, I'm in the middle of a parasite cleanse right now, because at the beginning of it, because I believe that it takes more than just the DNA cleanse, through the chanting, through the spiritual. You also need to nourish this body. So like being accountable to self in our journey is important, especially if we invite people to join us, right? Like how our container that we're creating to hold space is important, that it's clean too,
Yeah, 100%. I'm so glad that you brought that up, because it's such a, I don't think people really talk about how it is, you literally are changing all parts of your body. It may start with one thing, whatever that is that gets you going and gets you on this, like starting to live differently and change your life. But it really does take, and I find that there's certain foods now that I try them, and it's like my body rejects them. Things that I would have loved, even like, I look 2 years ago, and there's all aspects, like to the music that you're listening to. You've talked about this before, like different type of Hertz music. Like I'm always playing binaural beats, even if my kids are, playing their music. I make sure I have those binary beats on, because the frequency is a huge thing. And you brought up water. I'm very big on, I've got like love and you're beautiful, and I Reiki my water and I speak to my water, and I let my kids see those types of things, because we have control of so many things, and we call in what we want. But in order to do that, you need to do the work. You can't just be sitting there being like, I'm calling this in, and not actually doing the work, like you said.
Yeah. And the same thing with any practice that you encounter, or that you decide to, any tool that you put under your belt, that I say, anything that you decide to do, you can't just try it once and say, well, it didn't do anything to me, so I'm not going to do it again. I think that with chanting and meditation too, it takes time. I've heard this after first circle. I haven't felt much. I want to feel what you feel, Malika. And I'm like, well, it takes time. I'm like, you're here, you're doing it. And like that consistency, that is a hard one, that discipline. I strongly suggest everyone to do at least 10 to 20 minutes. It could be in the car. It's so much better though when we're sitting and we're focusing on just one task. So if we can all do that, bring the kids along. It's okay for them to be looking at you, give energy to your water, or chant with you, because it's good medicine. Like it's
So
good to open to that. There's no shame. Oh, and that's another thing. People are like, I don't have a chanting voice. Do you have a voice? then you have a chanting voice, right? Like that judgment.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough to dance. I'm not good enough. I don't think I can sit still and meditate. There's no way my voice can chant. I don't understand those words. I'd rather not chant them. Like, you know, these negative self-sabotaging thoughts that we send ourselves, like this is not serving anyone. Certainly not the collective. So might as well stay home.
Exactly. Well, and let's talk a little bit more about this weekend, because we've both touched on it a bit, and you just talking about that right now. A little bit about my experience was I let go of a shit ton. You know, even the cards that I pulled for the weekend, it literally laid everything out how the weekend went. And I went into this weekend with no expectations. I didn't want to, I just really wanted to flow with it and see what happened. I didn't want to be running on time frames. You know, there were certain workshops that I was like, I do want to get to those workshops. But a lot of it was like, I'm not going to be worried about being late. I'm just going to let it flow. And it was a lot of letting go, a lot of letting go of those like old programmings, that old story, like you said, like the shame, the guilt, the that noise in our head that's like, you can't do this, or you're people are looking at you or whatever, right? um but with that, like letting that all go, and with these women, and really feeling like it just went into Mother Gaia, and and then all the light codes and the activations were able to come in, right? And for me, the biggest thing that I got out of this weekend was witnessing other women. So anytime I don't even want to say call it late coming to something, because I felt like it was divine timing, because I would come and I would see these women, and whatever it was, if it was a kirtan, if it was a dancing, if it was a meditation, and it was just witnessing that, to me, was so beautiful and healing on so many levels.
There was so
But
much vulnerability, hey? Like women were scared to go, but they went anyway. They were feeling uncomfortable because they didn't knew anyone, but they suddenly felt comfortable enough to open up in many ways. And it was nice to see that flow changing through, like that safe space building for them. And I've heard also lots of women that felt so like in like that safe space to open up and share where they were at. And there's man, there's just so much lack of, like, we need to empower ourselves to show others how to empower themselves, because I see the beauty in the people, and then I don't think they can see it. And I don't know if it's just their past or their partners or their own self-sabotage and negative beliefs, but like it's like, oh my God, you know, you can
yeah,
see the beauty in people.
yeah.
And it's so, yeah, I think that the only way I can help, because I like to control things, is to better myself and to continue to do my work and what's calling me to do. And you mentioned a little bit about you came in there without like much expectation. I came the same way, zero social anxiety. Like for
Yeah.
me, going to a festival with zero social anxiety, going there, flowing with the whole weekend, no fear of missing out. I needed my social time because I don't work, like I work from home mostly. So I was like skipping workshops and going to talk, and we're all raising our vibrations the whole weekend, right? Together. And
Yeah.
now we're sprinkling this all over the world. Like,
100%. Yeah. And I love that, we both had these like almost really different experiences, but also super powering at the same time, right? Because I felt like I did a lot of like me time, and like I stayed in my bowler, and I did my cards. I was reading this book that I got into, and just meditating and just really taking things in, taking in all the experiences. I think because I don't get a lot of time without my 3 kids. And if I do, I'm at work. So
Whatever we needed, we got. And I think it's the same thing with any practice that we do. Like, for example, with chanting, something could be really relaxing and calming for someone else, and for somebody else is energizing. Or maybe somebody needs to unblock their jaw or whatever, like all the stress that they can feel here. And some other person's like, well, I slept better than ever, and like whatever is needed is the medicine. I think we just have to trust the modality. And there's another thing also that is very important with chanting, and when I come across is we can have a very powerful chanting experience alone or in a group. And if you are actually further down the path of like your spiritual journey, connection to higher self and all that, then it might be better to do it alone. Yeah, because if you are in a group with a bunch of newbies and they're not really present or have the intention, the benefits might not be, I mean, it's still going to be good, but the benefits might not be as powerful, as potent. So, but when you join a group with people that have intention, or you have a facilitator who tries to explain things as much as possible for new people to feel comfortable, like setting intentions behind their prayers, behind their mantra, then, it's just magic. There was 2 evenings at Earth Daughters where one was at 4 p.m. and the other one was at 6 p.m. So 2 times, 2 different days where I had the most beautiful opportunity to lead women and their babies, lots of babies, and to chant. And that was, it was just magical.
so magical, right? There was, and that, like, there was that flow, right? It was the learning and the giving, like you said, like, although you were like giving and holding space for a lot of people, you received a lot of that.
So much.
And even like I feel like that, and I wasn't there presenting anything, but I felt like I gave and received, right? Like my heart was blown open this weekend. Even when I came back, people are like, wow, like I can feel that on you.
I admire like the people that came that weren't sure, or that don't necessarily know about energy yet or spiritual awakening or anything like that, right? I admire them to come, and maybe they were not able to hold space, maybe they were not able to share and reciprocate in terms of energy. So at some point, it's good that we had you and other amazing souls being able to give so much, because at some point it has to balance out somehow, right? So yeah, it's wonderful.
I love it. So, okay, with your chanting, you also are offering, is it weekly sessions or monthly sessions that people can join up for?
There's a one-on-one personalized session. There is the community chanting circle that's once a month, normally on a Tuesday. So this month is on the 16th. And there is a membership. A membership is the commitment. I'm asking a commitment of 12 months, either monthly payment or cheaper and this is for people who want to push deeper their practice into chanting. It's actually very affordable and fun. And there's more information, more value in this one. But the chanting circle is part of the membership too. But chanting circle is open to everyone. And if you're around Saskatchewan, follow me on social media because I'll be traveling very soon.
Right on. And yes, I'm definitely going to link all your stuff below here in the description. But just to confirm, so those ones are all on Zoom, right? So people from all over can join, like all over.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're on social media or not. Zoom, and I have my milkshake like link, the Chanting Queen, where people can see all my offerings and message me and find me on socials and see all the prices, ask all the questions.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely give her a follow, because she also, you share a lot of like really positive stuff. At least I'm not on Instagram or Facebook anymore. I got the boot, but I do follow you on TikTok, and you share a lot of really positive, uplifting messages. So you're gonna get more than just chanting from Malika. So
I try to be funny too. I think that's one thing that I loved about when I was touring and telling stories. I used to tell a lot of travel stories, right? Because that was my life then. But I like to make people laugh. That's one thing that I do.
yeah. Oh yeah, you always raise the vibration, that's for sure.
Playful and fun. And I was serious for way too long. So here we go.
Yeah, and another thing about this weekend, I felt it was really like bringing out at least in me, the inner child. It was like connect with that inner child, let that inner child come out and play and dance and sing and meet new people, right? Without that, like, let all expectations go, let all like, just really let yourself shine. And the connections made from this weekend were like so magical. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you feel the same way, because
Well, I want to go meet some people in Manitoba now, like this is happening. I want to there's like a new community of women showing up.
yeah,
And
and really like seeing each other, like you said earlier, right? Like I felt that too. And I think at the beginning they talked about like really connecting with people while we were there that weekend. Like, so if you see something in a woman, that you like or that makes you smile, like tell them, and make eye contact when you walk by them and give them a smile or something. Because like we've lost that. I'll go to a store now and people like do not make eye contact at all with you.
that's the city.
Yeah,
I don't live in the city anymore.
true, true, true. The city's
Sometimes
very
I
much
walk
so.
my dog and then this neighbor was just walking. He was like, "Hello, do you live here?" "Yes, I do." "Since when?" It's like, "Well, don't you see me walk my dogs every day with my red
Every
hair,
day.
my kid?" Yeah, it's funny. I
Yeah,
love it.
definitely a city thing. Yeah, I love how even in small towns, like you'll be driving and everyone's waving at you, and I'm like, yeah, I love this. That stuff doesn't happen in the city.
I love it too.
But so another thing that came out of this weekend was at the end of the weekend, you were like, I want to create something with you. And so obviously, you're bringing your kirtan here to Regina, but you really helped me like break out of my shell. Because at first, when you asked me, my like old programming wanted to be like, well, what do I have to offer? Like, I don't know what I would do. But it was like everything was like, yes, okay. And then as soon as I said that yes, it was like downloads came into me of like, I want to do embodiment dance, and all these songs came into my head and started envisioning things. Last night I was at where we're going to be holding the event at the Tribal Vibes Healing Center. I was there doing yoga last night, and I had to like kept like telling my inner chatter to like stop, that I'm here right now doing yoga, because it was like all these things kept coming in, and it was like, so even just that, right? Like you I don't want to say you pushed me, but you kind of just gave me that like, it's that encouragement of like, when women really break that shell that we've kind of been like indoctored to believe about each other, that we're in competition with each other, right? And really, like, we are all connected. Like, women are connected on a whole nother level, right? So when we really start like seeing each other and really seeing each other and willing to like work with each other and build each other up, it's such a beautiful thing, and that is really connecting with the divine feminine side, right? Letting go some of that like divine masculine that is so high, you know, it's coming to that balance, and it's bringing that, like, that rise of the divine feminine up to like truly see one another and be able to like lift each other up. And you really did that, right? I was yeah, I think if even 6 months ago you would have asked me, I would have been like, no.
Funny you say that, because now I'm realizing I do that. I went on tour with Jillian Snyder a long time ago, and I told her, if we're going on tour together to Quebec, you need an album. And she was like, yeah. I said, yeah. And she did an album. And then I think there was another, yeah, you know, there's so much competition. And I think competition comes with insecurities and self-doubt, right? So it's okay to have those feelings, but we need to chase them and admit them to ourselves. You don't have to scream on social media that you have envy or jealousy for someone, and it's okay to have those feelings and to feel them and to honor them and to be honest with ourselves about it. But then we have to take this as a message that there is something that is not being fulfilled within ourselves. And also, it's okay to support a sister that does something similar to you. You don't have to be in competition, right?
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of the sisterhood and the womanhood has been lost in that competitive, successful career woman thing that we've been telling ourselves for like, you know, 20, 30, 40 years, who knows how long, I don't know. But ultimately, we have to reach within ourselves to find that love and support for, like, you know. And the practice of chanting is beautiful because it is a practice of compassion. So, and self-compassion is a big one too. And you mentioned earlier, I chant in 432, like some artists that I love. Oh, I just love it when I'm learning a song. I was learning Maria Stark the other day, or Maria, I think. Anyway, and she's playing her song in 432. So I don't have, like, I can actually play it with her. Well, you know, with her recording. So it's just exciting because this is an artist that understand that 432 is close to the frequency of the universe, of Mama Gaia, of us, of everything. So yeah, Bob Marley. Who else was doing this? There's a list. The Beatles. I think the Beatles, or maybe just John Lennon, or maybe George Harrison.
Lennon. Yeah, John Lennon did.
George Harrison, because he was also, was he a Buddhist or Hinduist or something? So I know that a lot of musicians that were influential chose to play in the frequency of the universe, which is exciting to me. So
it is exciting.
Should we chant a bit?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I would love that.
Chant a bit. Well, Lion's Gate portal is open. It's still pretty powerful. Before we can call in and receive, we need to remove the obstacles and ground ourselves and open the doors to new possibility, to transformation, to success. We're clearing impurities and toxins, and we should definitely chant Ganesha. Ganesha is the elephant-headed god. It is a pretty powerful mantra for success and prosperity. So let's clean up and call. So Ganesha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namah.
I'm going to mute myself just so that just you,
So you can chant Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. 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 After the mantra, we just sit quietly, just feel the ripples. How does it feel, Mama?
So beautiful. Thank you so much. Oh,
I've
it's
been
just,
chanting all day.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
this
you've
was,
already done two, right?
Yeah, a little longer. I have a private one and a mini kirtan today, so no problem. Like as I said, the more I chant, the more I want to chant.
Yeah,
It's
I love it.
it's a powerful practice, dear to my heart. Trying to
Mhm.
spread the message around.
Yeah, well, you definitely feel it. Like you feel it. So before we end this, do you want to chat a little bit about what we have coming up? It's like literally just we were there this weekend and we just planned it. So
Yeah.
not a ton planned yet, but
And we've talked more in this interview than we have in the whole weekend,
yeah.
just because we're just on different vibes, right?
Yeah.
Um, we did partake in some workshops, but that's not the time to have a conversation, right? So what we're doing, well, there's definitely going to be some chanting. We want to invite women to join. I'm like, Regina people have been telling me, when are you coming? And I keep saying soon, soon, and I just never make it happen. But now I'm like, I want to make it happen. So we got a date, October 1st, 7 to 9. We're going to open up. I think it's going to be you with an activation meditation to ground our body and to prepare our body to
Yeah.
chanting. And then we're going to chant for about 60 minutes, maybe 50, something around there. And then after that, if you want to share a little bit more.
Yeah, after that, I'm gonna run us through some movements, some embodiment dance, and it's a whole it integrates so well with the chanting, right? Being able to like once you've opened that, like you said, once you've opened that throat chakra, then you can start like we don't move our bodies enough, right? As especially as women, right? Like the creativity side, that movement is something we don't do enough. So I'm really looking forward to joining our forces and
Yes, me too. It's gonna be really fun. Well, I've been wanting to connect with you more than just on a friendship level, and then it just naturally kind of happened. So I'm excited.
yeah, so organically. I love it.
Yeah.
And like you said, like we actually didn't get a ton of time together this weekend, but yet we have created now this event and I feel like we're just gonna continue intertwining and working together and building each other up and
Yes, and call all the Regina women, come and
yeah,
gather
yeah.
indoors and like create an event together, create a ceremony, of like a collective,
Yeah,
that's exciting.
so exciting.
The online stuff is amazing because we can do it from our home. It's convenient. Not everyone wants to drive everywhere every night, right? Or every week for something. So it's convenient, but there's something really powerful, magical when we meet in real life. And that's the spark.
It is the spark, hey? Is there anything you want to end off with at all before
I
we?
love you.
Oh, I love you too. Oh, and I
Thank
see
you.
you. Thank you
And I
so
see you
much.
too. Even if you're not on social media anymore, I see you too. No, I watch your TikTok. I listen to them. I love your wisdom that you share and your beautiful heart. And I look forward to see you soon. And yeah, thank you for inviting me. I
Yeah,
love to, I mean, there's nothing more fun in life to talk about the things that make you happy. So here,
exactly. Yes, it literally like I chills throughout this whole thing. So thank you.
my pleasure. My pleasure.
Um, Perfect. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed this. Like I said, I am going to link all of Malika's ways to get a hold of her down below. So definitely check her out and we will see you soon. Take care.